I am Orapotist Maximus. This is the Q&A session for the preliminary press conference. This is April 4th, 2024. We're here this morning to begin the press conference on what's considered bold and controversial plan called the Jonah Project. A plan and agenda that purports and proposes the question to modern-day 21st century America, 2024. Integration or separation? Where do we go from here? After the civil rights era of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s movement that called for integration and multiracial inclusion as the solution to the race problem in America, against the backdrop of black nationalist leaders, and adamantly called for separation. My first question is, Mr. Maximus, there have been many voices and many opinions. What do you feel to be the root problem surrounding race relations in America? That's a good question. Thank you. I believe that the root problem surrounding race relations in America stems from the fact that whites have been able to act and operate with impunity to do as they will. We as blacks have been relegated, segregated, and discriminated against, and now we're being systematically locked out, a bustling and affluent society that we're responsible for building. America's love, her greed, her avarice, her level of wealth is great. And it would be insane, yes, even ludicrous for us to believe that she would freely grant access into that society and share the wealth of her nation. I believe that she is perhaps too greedy to do that. America, like that golden chalice in the book of Revelation, outwardly beautiful, but inwardly filled with filth, abomination, and every sort of deed of harlotry. But if America is to move forward, if she is to move forward, and continues on this course, I predict that the racial climate in America will plummet to an all-time low, doomed to become foul and suffocating, lending to an already bitter and acrimonious relationship. But if America is to move forward, she must, 1, admit and acknowledge her wrongdoing, 2, create a tangible, concrete plan to make right those wrongs. I want to make it abundantly clear, I am not suggesting or advocating integration. Separation is not an ideal solution, but I believe it's perhaps the only realistic solution. I'm a realist. America was created by white people for white people. White America has never been interested in an equal, multiracial society. But I am for a self-governing, sovereign entity that respects folkways, mores, religion, and other cultural identity. This would be the goal. This would be our objective. We will not accept appeasement, will not be pacified, and we will not capitulate. My next question. Mr. Maximus, are you serious about the notion of separation of the races in America? And if so, would you care to elaborate? Yes, I do care to elaborate. I am just as serious as when the Founding Fathers wrote the Constitution of the United States of America that says, and I quote, "When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for people to dissolve the political bands that connect us to one another, and to assume amongst the powers of the earth the separate and equal station, to which the laws of nature and nature's God, to declare the cause which compelled them to the separation." Okay, the next question, Mr. Maximus. Who appointed you as spokesperson for black people and why now? Thank you for that nasty question. The same question that was asked of the Reverend Jesse Jackson during his run for the White House for presidency. If me, who? If not now, when? My qualifications lies in my untainted love for my people. This untainted love for my people is perhaps the highest criteria for service, coupled with my belief that I'm morally bound to live a life worth emulating. Why now? Never has there been a time so crucial to break our silence, a time to stand up and speak out on what we feel is right and just, a time to cast away the modern day shackles that have left us bound, disabled, undeterred, yet undetermined, yet undeterred. This is the solution. This is my answer. The next question. Mr. Maximus, some time ago you made a statement, or rather a reference, to raising a generation of cowards. Would you care to explain that remark? Yes, thank you for that question. We must be careful. We must be mindful that we're not raising a generation of cowards. We must be careful. We must be mindful that we're not transferring our cowardice on to our children. For our children, our babies are looking to us. So we must teach them, train them to fight with those who fight with us. Teach them, train them, mold them, and make them. Teach them the hidden power behind the spoken word. Teach them how to transform the words into powerful expressions. Loose the knot in their tongues. Teach them not to be cowards, but to be bold and brave, from the cradle to the grave. Next question. Mr. Maximus, this is 2024. Shouldn't we just ignore factoring race in the narrative? The short answer to that question is no. To ignore race as a factor in determining how we should respond to other races is a very serious and costly mistake. It has been said that unless we learn from the lesson of history, that we will be condemned to repeat history. Dr. Philip McGraw, a prominent psychologist of our time, repeatedly says that the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. We as blacks have irrefutable evidence that our relationship to whites have always been troubled, lacking to say the least. But it would be wrong of me, a fallacy, yes, fallacious, for me to condemn all whites, particularly whites of this new generation who've done our people no wrong. But it would be equally wrong of me not to recognize them for who and what they are. They are their children and their children's children and their children's children. They are the benefactors, the white benefactors of our former slave masters. Presently, white America are the heirs, the recipients. And now you enjoy your socioeconomic standing as a result of your relationship with the slave master. I hope I've answered your question. Next question. Mr. Maximus, what surprised you the most about current attitudes and perceptions of whites in America? America, white America. I am amazed, I am astounded at your glaring lack of understanding of the black experience, your lack of sympathy, your lack of empathy, your lack of sensitivity. You are blinded by your own arrogance or just plain ignorance, eclipsed only by your stubbornness and overall unwillingness to learn from the errors of your way. America, white America, you speak as though you had clean hands, as if though you were removed from the guilt, the blame, the culpability, lending to the destruction and the demise of the black man and black woman in America. Only God can exonerate you from the sins you've made, but you cannot escape nor deny responsibility for the role you've played. Your conscience is seared, you're numb to the pain and suffering you've caused. And like the romantic fool, you wonder why love is lost. Next question. Mr. Maximus, your comments bespeaks to the position of indignation and a void of political correctness. Would you like to defend that characterization? I sure would. Please don't look at me like I said something wrong. I make no apologies for the way I speak. I will be held accountable before God and God alone, that I was a mouthpiece, that I was a voice of the voices, that their voice would be my voice. Their hurt would be my hurt. Their pain would be my pain. To articulate, enunciate, and communicate the inner hurt, pain, and frustration of what it is to be a black man and a black woman in America in the 21st century. This is what makes me an effective poet. So I have to say, excuse me. Excuse me if I offend you. Excuse me if I come across a little too strong. Forgive me if I come across a little too black. But in the spirit of my big brother, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, I don't give a damn if you're Uncle Sam. I don't give a damn you're the RS. I don't give a damn you're the FBI. I don't give a damn you're the CIA. I don't give a damn you're the damn KKK. Next question. Mr. Maximus, as young people, what would you admonish us to do? Thank you for that brilliant question. I would first like to make an admonishment that our children are the future, whether we believe it or not. I would like to admonish our young people to be ready to take the lead when the time comes. And the time will come for them to be the catalyst, the agents of change in the society in which they live. I'm not asking them to bear the full weight of the world upon their shoulders, but I am asking them to be ready to step up. You can take to social media, lead a march, host a prayer vigil, write a letter to your representative, say a prayer, write a poem, do something. Because history will record whether our silence was our consent. Therefore, we must fight on all fronts, land, sea, and space, social, political, civic, and religious battlefields. And if we are serious, we must fight on all fronts. If we are serious, we must fight this battle continually. Apply steady and consistent pressure against the social ills that threaten to debase and value the quality of human life in America. My final question. Mr. Maximus, we are about to celebrate the 4th of July. What are your sentiments? Actually, I'm not sentimental at all. I would like to share the same scathing indictment that Frederick Douglass gave at April 5th, 1852. The same scathing indictment in a speech entitled, "What to the Slave is the 4th of July?" What to the slave is the 4th of July? It is a day that reveals to him more than any other day of the year of the gross injustice and inequality of which he is a constant victim. To him, your celebration is a sham. Your boasted liberty, your unholy license, your national greatness, your unswollen vanity. Your shouts of rejoicing are empty and heartless. Your denunciation of tyrants, brass-fronted impudence. Your shouts of thanksgiving, hollow mockery. Your prayers, your hymns, your sermons, your thanksgiving, and all your religious parade and solemnity, mere bombast, fraud, deception, impiety, and hypocrisy, a thin veil to cover up crimes which have disgraced a nation of savages. Thank you for your questions. I am Orapotist Maximus. I've done a lot of soul searching. I've done a lot of thinking. I've come to the conclusion that we as people, we just got to continue to press forward. Continue to press forward. But what do I know? I'm just a poet. Thank you for your questions.